Money is not paper, money is not numbers, money is energy. Living, breathing, intelligent, it moves like a river that remembers its course. It listens like a loyal messenger to the voice that commands it. And today, you must hear this truth. Big money does not arrive because you chase it. Big money finds you because you are aligned with the secret law that calls it forth. What if big money has been looking for you all along, but your words and thoughts kept it blind? What if the very sentences you spoke under your breath closed the gate that was about to open? What if your own inner dialogue has been standing at the door, blocking the very supply that already carried your name? Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every word is a magnetic current. When you speak in fear, you create currents that repel. When you speak in faith, you create currents that draw. Words are not small, they are the compass of your soul. They point your destiny north or south, toward lack or toward wealth. Every phrase is a seed, and every seed blooms in your life with exact precision. Do not mistake this as poetry alone. It is law, divine law. Just as the sun rises and sets, the words you declare create a vibration that cannot return void. The universe does not listen casually. It records, it multiplies, it mirrors, and your bank account, your opportunities, your divine appointments are shaped by the tone you hold in secret and the truth you declare aloud. Before we walk further on this path, pause and align with me. Subscribe to this channel if your soul is ready for daily reminders of truth, power, and divine motivation. Let every teaching be a seed that takes root in your heart, guiding you toward the wealth that is already yours. Money is not chasing anyone. It is drawn like metal to magnet, like light to an open window. It flows to its rightful place. It does not belong to the frantic. It does not belong to the desperate. It belongs to the aligned. And when your soul becomes a beacon, when your words shine with the current of faith, money cannot resist you. Think of the river. It does not force its way up the mountain. It flows with grace to the valley. Money is the same. It flows where the channel is open. It flows to the one who no longer builds dams of fear with careless words. It flows to the one who stands in stillness, declaring, I am the channel of divine wealth. Supply knows my name. Big money finds me now. And yet, how many times have you spoken the opposite? How many times have you declared, I never have enough, things never work out, money is hard? Every one of those words closed your lighthouse, dimmed your beacon, and money, though it searched, could not recognize you. You were invisible to your own good, not because it was gone, but because your vibration refused to let it land. The awakening begins here. You must understand that big money is not a stranger wandering in darkness. It is your divine inheritance. It carries your spiritual signature. It waits for your call, but you do not call with worry. You do not call with doubt. You call with faith, with words alive with conviction. That is the secret law that changes everything. Imagine your soul as a beacon on the shore. Ships carrying gold, opportunity, and blessing move across the sea of life. When your light shines with clarity, those ships find you first. They dock at your harbor with ease. But when your beacon flickers with fear, when your light grows dim with doubt, the ships pass by. They cannot see you, not because you were not worthy, but because your light was not steady. This is why Florence insisted on the power of the tongue. She knew the tongue is the rudder of destiny, the small member that turns the great ship. And you, with every declaration, steer yourself into poverty or abundance, delay or divine appointment, fear or faith. The law does not fail. It cannot. What you speak, you draw. What you bless, you expand. What you curse, you block. So let us shift the current now. Begin by asking yourself, what words have I been sending into the world? What phrases have I planted in the soil of my future? Have I been watering weeds or fruit? Have I been commanding doors shut or commanding them open? Hear me now. The secret is not in striving. It is not in clawing or racing after wealth. The secret is in alignment, in becoming a field so magnetic, so alive with divine truth, that big money recognizes you instantly. It does not hesitate. It does not delay. It finds you first, from this moment. Speak differently. Do not say, I hope it works out. Say, it already is working in my favor. Do not say, I can't afford it. Say, the divine supply is already prepared for me, and it flows in perfect time. Do not curse your circumstances. Bless them into alignment. For the law of substitution declares, a negative thought can always be replaced by a positive one. And once replaced, the current changes instantly. Close your eyes for a moment. See yourself as a golden beacon, shining into the night. See wealth as light itself, rushing toward you, finding you without struggle. Feel the energy shift in your body, feel the resistance melt, whisper aloud, big money finds me first because I am aligned with divine law. This is the awakening, this is the call. You are not lost, you are not chasing, you are being found. And as we step deeper into this journey, you will see how the law itself has been waiting to serve you. Let hope rise, let your words rise, for the river has already begun to flow toward you. Money does not move by accident. It is not guided by luck or chance. It is drawn by a sacred order, a law written into the very fabric of your existence. This is the law of divine magnetism, a law that combines the attraction of thought, the substitution of faith over fear, and the commanding power of the spoken word. It is the reason some live in overflow while others live in lack. Think of it this way. Those who chase money run endlessly, but the faster they run, the farther it slips away, because money is not designed to be hunted. It is designed to recognize alignment. It seeks out the soul that shines with certainty, the mind that speaks with authority, and the heart that rests in trust. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote that your words are currents. Every sentence you speak sets forces into motion. Say, I can't afford it, and you build a wall around yourself. Say, all that is mine by divine right now comes to me, and you tear that wall down brick by brick. Let us pause for a moment and ask, have you been speaking words that blind money to your presence, or words that guide it straight into your hands? Picture the soul as a lighthouse, a sacred tower glowing across the waters of life. Money is like a fleet of ships on the sea, searching for safe harbor. The light of faith, the radiance of divine certainty, pulls those ships in. But when the light is dimmed by fear, doubt, or self-condemnation, the ships pass by unseen. I once knew a man who worked day and night, chasing wealth with clenched fists and restless breath. He believed effort was the only key, but no matter how hard he tried, every deal collapsed and every door stayed locked. Years later, he surrendered his fear, changed his language, and began to speak as if supply were already his. He said, I am guided to what belongs to me. My wealth appears by divine right, at the perfect time. Within months, opportunities came that had never appeared before. Not because he worked harder, but because he shined brighter. That is the secret. You must stop seeing yourself as a seeker. You must begin to see yourself as a receiver. The one who chases admits they do not yet have. The one who receives knows it is already theirs. This shift is the axis on which the law of divine magnetism turns. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a great field stretching wide beneath the sun. Every seed of intention you plant in that field draws the elements it needs to bloom. You do not beg the rain to come. You trust it will come because the law demands it. So it is with money. When you speak with certainty, when you align with divine order, the resources you need are pulled into bloom. Affirm this truth with me now. I am a magnet for divine supply. What is mine by divine right now finds me. Let those words be more than sound. Let them be the song of your inner temple. Repeat them not with desperate force, but with calm authority, like one who knows the law has already moved in their favor. Here is the healing dialogue I want you to practice. When your mind whispers, I don't know how I'll make it, reply within, it is not my work to know the how, it is God's work to open the way. When fear says, what if I fail again? Answer, I walk by divine appointment. Every step is ordered, every supply is waiting. This is the law of substitution at work, replacing doubt with faith, fear with assurance, confusion with clarity. Remember this truth. The universe is not late, there is a divine clock, and when the hour strikes, no force on earth can keep your wealth from appearing. See it now in your mind's eye, the hands of that clock moving toward your appointed moment, not a second early, not a second late, perfect timing, perfect order. You may feel a stirring within you right now, as if something hidden has been unveiled. That is because your soul knows this truth. It has always known. You are not here to beg for scraps of abundance. You are here to command divine wealth with the authority of your birthright. So walk as one who is already seen by money. Speak as one who is already recognized by wealth. Live as one who is already chosen by abundance. For you are the lighthouse, and the ships of prosperity are already on their way. And as we move forward, you will see how to align not just with money itself, but with the inner laws that hold it in place. If money is a living force that recognizes faith, why has it not yet recognized you? Why does it seem to circle around others while passing you by? The answer is not hidden in the economy. your education, or your effort. It lives in a quieter place, the words you have spoken, the fears you have carried, the doubts you have fed. In silence, for most people, the greatest obstacle is not lack itself but the fear of lack. This fear does not whisper gently, it roars through your mind when bills arrive, when opportunities vanish, when the future feels uncertain, and with each fearful thought, a command is sent out into the unseen. Your subconscious listens, it records every word as truth, and begins to shape your world according to the script you give it. Florence Scovel Shinn, called words boomerangs. What you release will always return. Say, I can't afford this, and the universe simply agrees. Say, money never stays with me, and your own energy drives it away. Not because you are unworthy, but because your words have turned the key the wrong way in the lock. Picture this with me, a great door stands before you. Behind it lies everything you desire, freedom from debt, a home filled with peace, the chance to give without fear. But the door will not open, no matter how hard you push. You grow frustrated, you push harder, but the door stays closed. Why? Because the key in your hand is turned against the lock instead of with it. Your own words and fears have twisted it the wrong way. The effort is real, but the alignment is missing. This is why many spend years chasing money yet never find it. They work harder, longer, faster. But with every effort their subconscious repeats the same instructions. I don't have enough. I can't hold on to wealth. It always slips away. And so the law obeys, not because it is cruel, but because it cannot betray the command you have given it. I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. What phrases have you repeated in your life without realizing their power? Perhaps you've said, money is hard to come by. Perhaps you've sighed, I'll never get ahead. Or maybe, in moments of despair, you declared, I'm cursed when it comes to money. Every one of those phrases planted seeds, and the soil of the subconscious does not question whether the seed is healthy or poisonous. It simply grows what is given. But here is the turning point. The same law that multiplied your fear will multiply your faith. The same door that once refused to open will swing wide when the key is turned with truth. Say these words now with me. Every word I speak plants seeds of wealth and divine order. Do you feel the difference? That affirmation is not begging, it is commanding. It does not point to lack, it declares alignment with the divine flow that has always existed. Think of the subconscious mind as a divine orchestra. Each word is a note played upon its strings. When you speak fear, the music is dissonant, clashing, creating chaos. But when you speak faith, the tones rise into harmony, guiding resources, opportunities, and ideas into perfect rhythm. I know some of you may be thinking, but I didn't mean it when I said those words. I was just frustrated. Understand this. The subconscious does not measure sarcasm, emotion, or intention. It takes words literally. It does not argue. It does not edit. It does not interpret. It obeys. This is why careless speech builds walls you never intended to build, and why conscious speech can tear them down faster than you imagine. Now, let us reframe. Instead of I can't afford it, say, if it is mine by divine right, the way will be shown. Instead of money never stays, say, I am a faithful steward, and wealth remains with me. Instead of I'll never get ahead, say, I walk in divine order, and every step brings increase. Speak them gently but firmly, as if chiseling away old stone to reveal the golden temple beneath. This is not about denying reality, it is about creating a higher one. So I ask you, where have your words turned the key against yourself? Where have you unknowingly locked the very door you longed to open? This realization is not here to shame you, it is here to awaken you. For the moment you recognize the power of your own speech, you also recognize that you can change it, and when you change it, everything shifts. Here is a short prayer you can carry in your heart. Spirit of truth, guide my tongue to align with your abundance. Let every word I speak open the gates of divine supply. Let no idle speech of fear take root in my life again. Breathe those words in. Let them settle into your chest. Feel how the energy shifts when the tongue becomes a compass pointing toward freedom instead of fear. This is the place of realization, the moment where you begin to see that you were never truly cut off from wealth. You were only turned in the wrong direction, but with one shift of the key, one shift of the word, the door is ready to open. And as you step into this awareness, the journey deepens, because once the struggle is named, once the hidden chains are seen, you are prepared to walk into the light of alignment. And in the next step, you will learn how to move beyond resistance, so that the river of wealth can finally flow without obstruction. Imagine a wanderer walking through endless deserts and forests, searching for a hidden treasure chest. He carries maps, he studies stars, he digs in the sand, and still his hands come up empty. Every day he wakes with hope, and every night he falls with despair. He believes the treasure is running away from him, that wealth is hiding in corners he has yet to find. But in the unseen realm, another story is unfolding. The chest is not still, it is moving, guided by divine law, rolling like a golden river across the landscape. It is searching for him as surely as he searches for it, and every word he speaks, every thought he carries, becomes either a beacon drawing it closer or a fog sending it astray. The wanderer does not yet know this. His fists are clenched, his jaw is tight, his heart is heavy with striving, and in this state, the chest remains hidden, because wealth, like a sacred bird, cannot land on closed hands. It waits for openness, it waits for surrender. It waits for the silent gate of destiny to be unlocked. Now picture the turning moment. The wanderer, weary from striving, falls to his knees under the night sky. He whispers, "I surrender. If it is mine, let it find me," and something shifts. The clenched fists open, the heart softens, the words of resistance fall away, and in that moment, the chest appears, drawn by the magnet of surrender, not because he chased it harder, but because he aligned with the divine current that had been guiding it toward him all along. This is the sacred story of wealth. It is not the tale of hunters and trophies. It is the tale of temples and altars. You are not the pursuer, you are the dwelling place. Money, as divine supply, is designed to find its rightful altar. It belongs to the hands that are open, to the heart that is surrendered, to the soul that shines as a lighthouse in the night. Picture money as flowing light, moving like streams of gold through the unseen. It does not flow randomly. It seeks channels. It seeks alignment. It seeks the path of least resistance. When fear clogs the channel, the river diverts. When doubt builds a dam, the waters pause. But when faith opens the passage, the river rushes in with force and grace, filling every empty place. This is why chasing leaves you wary. You are running after what is already looking for you. The divine orchestra of life is not waiting for you to play every instrument. It is waiting for you to take your seat and allow the music to surround you. Your role is not to force the melody but to align with the harmony already being played. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that what is yours by divine right cannot be taken away, and what is not yours will slip through your hands no matter how tightly you grasp. This truth humbles the ego but frees the soul. It means that the supply you seek is not hiding, it is already on its way. It means you were never forgotten. It means the divine clock has already struck your hour, though you may not yet hear the chime. Take this story and place yourself inside it. Ask yourself, where in my life have I been chasing what was already chasing me? Where have you exhausted yourself in pursuit, not realizing that pursuit was fogging the beacon? Where have clenched fists kept the sacred bird from landing? Where have words of struggle built walls against the very treasure that longed to arrive? Pause here and breathe. See yourself no longer as the hunter. See yourself as the temple. See your life as an altar prepared for divine supply. Let your hands loosen, let your words shift, let your heart declare, "I am ready to be found." Here is an affirmation to anchor this truth. I am not the seeker of wealth. I am the dwelling place of divine supply. Money recognizes me, honors me, and finds me now. Say it again, not with strain, but with quiet certainty. Let it roll through. You like the whisper of release. Feel the clenched energy dissolve. Feel the divine bird circling, waiting to descend. Wealth does not come by accident. It comes by alignment. It comes by opening your inner gate. It comes by realizing that what you chase is already moving toward you, waiting for the moment you choose faith over fear. So remember the wanderer and his chest of treasure. Remember that the map was never the answer. The answer was the surrender, the open hands, the spoken word of alignment, and know that your own story carries the same truth. Because money, like light, like song, like destiny, will always find its way home, and home is the soul that shines without resistance, the heart that trusts, the tongue that speaks in harmony with divine law. Now we turn to the next step, where you will learn how to open wider to this flow, and how to let none become your daily practice so the river never stops moving in your favor. There comes a moment when the soul realizes that wealth is not something to be chased, it is something to be welcomed. It is something to be aligned with. It is something that has always been waiting at the silent gate of destiny, until your spirit was ready to open the door. This is where the law of non-resistance enters. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that what you resist, you strengthen, and what you bless, you release into flow. When you fight against your circumstances, when you clench your fists in worry, when you argue with life saying, "I never have enough," you unknowingly block the very supply that is seeking you. But when you release the grip, when you whisper, "God's supply is endless, and I live in it now," something miraculous occurs. The stream begins to move again. Wealth, like a river of gold light, flows back toward its rightful channel, and that channel is you. So let us walk the path of alignment together, not as beggars, but as temples of divine abundance, not as seekers, but as receivers of a law that never fails. Close your eyes for a moment, breathe deeply. See in your mind's eye a great stream of radiant light, pouring like liquid sunlight into your home, into your hands, into your bank account. This is not imagination. This is spiritual rehearsal. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between the real and the vividly imagined. What you feel with intensity becomes your inner law, and what becomes law within must take form without. Now, speak with me these daily affirmations, not as empty words but as declarations of truth. Divine wealth rushes to me now. Big money knows my name. I am the rightful receiver of infinite supply. Say it again, not with doubt, not with hesitation, but with the rhythm of certainty. Feel the divine orchestra moving as you speak. Each word strikes a chord in the unseen. Each phrase is a key turning in the lock of manifestation. Now, let us take this practice deeper. Take your journal and begin to write down the words you have spoken about money in your life. Be honest. Do not hide them. Perhaps you have written words like, "Money is hard to keep. I never have enough. Wealth is for others, not for me." These words may have felt casual at the time, but the subconscious does not treat them lightly. Every word is a seed, and seeds grow silently until harvest. Now, I invite you to rewrite them. Take each limiting sentence and transform it into divine truth. I never have enough becomes God's supply is endless, and I live in it now. Money is hard to keep becomes wealth multiplies in my hands with ease. Wealth is for others, not for me becomes I am divinely chosen to reveal abundance, and prosperity delights to stay with me. Do you feel the shift? This is not just writing. This is reprogramming the inner temple. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "Your word is your wand." Your words are not powerless sounds, they are spiritual decrees. When spoken with faith, they cut through the invisible, like a sword of light, commanding substance to take form. But there is a secret most people miss. The subconscious requires two things to be persuaded: repetition and emotion. It is not enough to say the words once, cold and mechanical. You must say them daily, until they become the natural song of your soul. You must speak them with feeling, as if the truth has already unfolded in your life. For the subconscious mind, feeling is the language of acceptance, and once accepted within, the external world has no choice but to comply. Here is a simple practice to seal this alignment. Each morning, before the noise of the world enters your mind, place your hand on your heart and declare, "Divine wealth is my birthright. Big money finds me with grace. I am aligned with God's endless supply." Pause, feel the words, visualize the river of light entering your day, imagine your steps magnetized to opportunities, your words carrying power, your presence attracting supply, and each night, before you sleep, whisper a prayer of release. I rest in divine timing, I resist nothing, I receive everything meant for me. Let these words carry you into rest, so your subconscious can work unopposed in the silence of sleep. You may be tempted to ask, but what if I don't see results right away? That is where faith and non-resistance stand guard. The divine clock never ticks too early and never too late. When you try to force it, you disturb the harmony of the orchestra. But when you trust the timing, you begin to notice signs: small blessings, unexpected opportunities, open doors where walls once stood. Each is a whisper that the law is working, that supply is moving, that wealth is already on its way. Release the need to chase, release the fear of delay, release the inner resistance that argues with what is. Instead, stand in the temple of now, and declare, "What is mine comes swiftly and surely by divine right. I welcome it with joy." This is how big money finds you, not by frantic effort, not by anxious pursuit, but by alignment of thought, word, and spirit with the eternal law of supply. The treasure does not respond to struggle, it responds to surrender. The bird of wealth does not land on clenched fists, it rests only in open hands. So I ask you now, are your hands open? Is your heart unclenched? Have you stopped resisting what life is trying to give you? Because the secret is not in running faster, but in standing still with faith. The supply has always been on its way. It has always known your name. It has always been looking for you. And as you step into this alignment, you will feel it not as a distant hope, but as a living presence. The divine current begins to move. The inner dialogue begins to change. Your soul begins to resonate with the frequency of abundance. And suddenly, big money does not seem like a stranger to chase, but a long-awaited guest that has finally come home. Now, let us prepare to move into the next step of this journey, because once you have aligned, once you have spoken the words, once you have opened the temple of your spirit, the only thing left is to receive the breakthrough, and that is where we are headed next. Stand still for a moment and feel the shift that is happening inside you. The wandering has ended, the chasing is over. You are no longer reaching outward in desperation. You are standing inward in authority. This is the moment when the soul awakens and declares, I am not separate from supply. I am the magnet that draws it. I am the altar where it belongs. So now, let us speak the sacred words together, not softly, not timidly, but with the authority of one who knows. I am a magnet for big money. Say it aloud, feel it vibrating through your chest. Let it echo through your entire being. Again, I am a magnet for big money. Now declare, divine supply seeks me first. The supply does not hesitate, it does not delay, it does not wonder where to go, it knows your name, and it rushes to your side. Now, affirm, I am aligned with the secret law of wealth. This is not wishful thinking, this is divine law in action. When you align with it, money has no choice but to follow. It is commanded by the word, it is directed by your faith, it is moved by your surrender. Close your eyes now and see it. See yourself standing in a golden temple. The walls shimmer with radiant light. The air hums with divine music. Like the chords of a heavenly orchestra, streams of golden sunlight pour through the open gates. And as they touch you, they become rivers of wealth flowing into your life. Every step you take in this temple is magnetic. Every breath you breathe pulls supply closer. Every word you speak sends out a signal to the unseen, and the unseen responds. Stay in this vision for a moment. Feel the sunlight on your skin. Feel the flow rushing into your hands. Feel the joy of knowing you no longer chase. You are the one who is found first. Now I invite you into a sacred practice. For the next 7 days, speak these words every morning and every night. I am a magnet for big money. Divine supply seeks me first. I am aligned with the secret law of wealth. Do not rush. Do not repeat them as empty sounds. Speak them with power. Speak them with feeling. Speak them until your subconscious accepts them as natural truth. And watch. Watch what shifts in your world. Watch the doors that open, the blessings that arrive, the unexpected provisions that flow. This is not chance. This is law. And you have stepped into alignment with it. Let gratitude rise in you now. Thank God for the supply that already exists. Thank the divine law that never fails. Thank your own spirit for awakening to truth. Gratitude seals the manifestation. Gratitude completes the circuit. Gratitude prepares you to receive more. So, we close with this victorious declaration. Big money now finds you first. Not because of struggle, not because of luck, but because you have remembered the secret. You have spoken the word. You have opened the temple of your heart, and supply has recognized its home. You are no longer the seeker. You are the found. You are no longer the hunter. You are the magnet. You are no longer in lack. You are in divine flow. This is your soul's new identity. This is your sacred inheritance. This is your eternal law. And if these words have awakened something deep within you, if you are ready to live each day with faith, power, and divine alignment, then I invite you subscribe to this channel. Here you will find daily teachings that remind you of who you really are, daily truths that lift your spirit, daily words that shape your destiny, because your soul was not made for small living. Your soul was made for abundance, freedom, and divine prosperity. Carry this declaration with you, speak it, live it, breathe it, and remember always, big money now finds you first, because you have remembered the secret.